Alright, welcome to another episode of Ben's Box Breaks. Today we're going to be going back to 2020 for a moment. We're going to open a draft booster box of Zendikar Rising with the new Savai Triome playmat. So I'll get one thing out of the way first. For those of you guys who don't know, there's almost no cards in the main set that are really worth a significant amount. I believe there's a couple of the dual-faced modal sorcery mythics that are $10-20, but really a large bulk of the value is going to come from the box topper. So there's one box topper in this, which you can see here, and inside this pack the average value of the card is almost $30, I believe, $25, $26 something. So what you're really hoping for is a Cavern of Souls or Ancient Tomb. There's 30 of them, as I mentioned, and they're all equally likely. So the first thing we're going to see is the 6.7% chance that we open either Ancient Tomb or Cavern of Souls. And I'm snipping the top because I don't want to fold the card trying to open the pack. So before we move on to the actual draft booster packs, let's take a look. Okay, Cavern of Souls. Alright, so that is the most expensive card you can open in this set, so we're already off to literally the best start. In fact, this card already pays for the rest of the box. So I mentioned this in the Phyrexia All Be One Collector booster box, but one could argue that I should just not open the rest of this box, because to be honest, you are probably looking for somewhere in the $40 to $50 range of value for actual sellable cards beyond the box topper. So actually, I think Cavern of Souls might be the second most expensive, but I'll flash the current prices for all you guys to see. Seems like the new Savai Triome playmat kind of brought some good luck. But what we're going to be looking for are the rare pathways, the 6 of them. I believe it's the enemy pathways. And then we will be looking for the dual-face modal mythic sorceries as well. Oh, there's a full tab. So we're going to try to open at least 3 of the pathways. There's roughly a 52% chance of that happening. And then we're going to be looking for at least 3 of the mythic dual-face modal sorceries. That's around a 10%. So this is a nice throwback to the original Zendikar, the full art basics. It was the first set that had full art basics in every pack. First rare we get is Maul of the Skyclaves. Okay. So besides the dual-faced modal cards, we're going to be looking at a couple of the uncommons, but not these. There's a couple of them that have some value, mainly the other dual-faced. I think the dual-faced Blood Chiefs, or sorry, Malakir's Rebirth and Balaged Recovery. But besides that, mostly we're going to be taking a look at the rares, and we'll take a look at all the mythics to see. Full Art Mountain, a Akiri Fearless Voyager foil, okay, and a Thieving Skydiver. Alright, so this is worth sleeving up. Oh, Balaged's Recovery, there it is. So this is the most desirable uncommon, and that'll be it. Okay, great. I don't think Akiri is really anything to write home about, but we can sleeve these up. So here's the back side. Okay. And a Thieving Skydiver. Great. Has a little bit of value there. So we're on to pack 3. Obviously, after having opened Cavern of Souls, Grakmaw Skyclave Rager. Okay, not too much to be excited about. Here's a dual-faced uncommon, but this is one that's not worth too much. Palaka Predation. And a Thundering Spark Mage. Okay. Alright. I don't think any of the commons in this set really have too much value besides maybe a couple of them, 25, 50 cents something. So we're not really going to be taking too much of a look at that. No, first dual face modal. All right, so we have the Boros needle verge pathway, and then the backside pillar verge pathway. So that's great. All right, so first pathway we've opened, and an alternate ruin crab. Nice. That's a nice throwback to original Zendikar with Hedron crab. And a canopy bailiff. I thought you could only get one extended art in these packs. But let's leave up the ruin crab. It's the only uncommon that isn't a dual face modal that has a little bit of value. So we'll leave it up. So this set came out 3 years ago, and as I mentioned, very few of the cards have some serious value. Wayward Guide Beast, nothing too exciting there. And that's all. So we're really looking for those mythic sorceries. Even the mythic planeswalkers in this set are, a couple dollars. Nothing really too exciting. Glasspool Mimic. Okay. Glasspool Mimic. Alright. So we'll try to move a little faster since we do have, this is a regular 36 pack box. I started playing in original Zendikar, which is why I was interested in picking up this set, especially with how the prices have continued to fall on the sealed product, although on the, actually the prices of the singles have climbed around 5 to 10% in the last quarter. So if you can get these at a great price, which this box I got for $75, that's an amazing price. Hey, Rolling Vortex, that's some value right there. If you can get this for that kind of price, under $80, it's worth a pull. Because that box topper is worth, $25, $30, and the prices of many of them are actually climbing. Like Ancient Tomb has climbed, I believe, another $10 in the last few months. That adds legitimate value to the average value of the box. Morag Fear of Akum. Okay. Hey, that's one of the better mythics, not one of the dual face modals, but definitely a good pull, above average for the mythics. There's 20 mythics, and I believe maybe 5 of them are in the double digits in price. So that's a good first mythic. Or first mythic? I'm not sure. Okay. Another foil, Kabir Takedown, Swarm Shambler, okay. Nothing too exciting to ride home about. And Journey to Oblivion. Okay. And that's all. Since this set is 3 years old, almost, will be 3 years old this year, I'm not going to dilly-dally too much on most of the commons and uncommons. Branch Loft Pathway, great. Okay, so that is another one of the pathways. This one is green and white, Branch Loft Pathway, Boulder Loft Pathway. And that should be all. Okay. Worth a sleeve up. Honestly, the pathways are not that expensive. Probably the Is It one, Clearwater, maybe the most expensive, or is that the blue and red? But it's a nice land cycle for sure. Soul Shatter, okay. Hey, Malakir Rebirth, okay. And that's it. Okay, so Malakir Rebirth is actually, I think, $4 to $5, making it, even though it's an uncommon. So this that makes it more expensive than probably 50 out of the 64 rares in this set, I would think. Soul Shatter, $1 or $2. Okay, so we'll move on to the second pile. Try to pick this up a little bit. Verizal, the Split Current. Okay. Let's see, Jerry Shelter, Skyclave Pickaxe, and the alternate art. That's looks like a nice art, but nothing too exciting in the back half here. So as I mentioned, Zendikar was the set that I started playing Magic with, or in, so... Oh, Crag Crown Pathway. Great. Third modal, rare. And so it's really nice to see the return of a lot of these cards. Of course, Zendikar was one of the first land-centric sets. It introduced the enemy fetches, and landfall became a lot more prevalent, of course, in this set. And I actually remember many years ago, Tazri Beacon of Unity is our second mythic. Okay. Not too exciting, for sure. Not too exciting. And I have a very vivid memory of trading a Lotus Cobra back in 2010 for Baneslayer Angel. That was when both those cards were 30, 40. At one point, both of them were $50. Now, the Baneslayer basically bulk, but it was ruining the meta back in the day. Shadow's Verdict for this rare, nothing too exciting. Another Bala Ged's Recovery. Baneslayer just completely set a new standard for what a 5-mana creature should look like, and it was running amok in Standard back then. And Lotus Cobra, it had so much potential, but of course with the reprints and changes in power levels and stuff. Here's Skyclave Apparition, okay, so a couple dollars right there. Both of those cards have just gone out of favor with power level and whatnot. So I think Lotus Cobra even got downshifted to rare after originally being one of the chase mythics in original Zendikar. Shatter Skull Smashing. Okay, that's a great card. And nothing much else. Okay. So, Shatter Skull Smashing. This saw a lot of play. I know in MTG Arena maybe a year or two ago. But after its rotation, I'm not sure if what kind of decks are looking for that. Legion Angel, okay. Alright, and a bunch of commons. So, actually, I'm waiting currently for another Phyrexia All-Be-One set booster box, or a couple to show up. And Magmatic Channeler, okay. Nothing too exciting. And I'm waiting for another Phyrexia All-Be-One booster box to show up. And something that changed from the previous video, I mentioned the new Atraxa card, I believe Grand Unifier. It was $5 when the set was first released. Another pathway, great. Bright Climb Pathway and Grime Climb Pathway on the back. It was $5, $6 something during the pre-release. You could buy as many as you want, up to $7, and it just completely blew away expectations over the weekend, the weekend before filming this. I think the card was up to $37 or something last time I checked on TCG Player. So that card by itself raises the expected value of a booster box. Skyclave Relic, okay, it's $1. Malakir Rebirth, great. And another Ruin Crab, super. That $30 change right there increases the expected value of a draft or set booster box by almost $7, I think. That's a big deal when we're talking about whether it's worth it or not to open sealed product, or whether that should push you over the threshold to buy sealed product instead of buying singles. Okay, so we're down to, this should be pack number 23, and there's a Lotus Cobra. Okay. I will flash a picture of the original Zendikar Lotus Cobra just because it's so nostalgic. But it really was the chase card in Zendikar. It was more expensive than all the enemy fetches. Scalding Tarn didn't have that value back then. It was the enemy fetches were going, $15, $25, but Lotus Cobra was leading the pack for sure. And part of that is because it was a mythic, not a rare like the fetches, but Kazandu Mammoth in the alternate art. Okay, that's not that inspiring, but okay. Nothing too much else in this pack. And so we're on to the last pile here. I'm also trying to find an Archon of Emeria. In these last 12 packs, that'd be nice. Nimble Trap Finder. And not much else here. Oh, I do have to mention it. We're basically playing with house money here. Opening maybe 4 pathways now. I have to check. Zareth Sand the Trickster. Opening 4 pathways, opening the Cavern of Souls, obviously, and then opening a decent mythic in Morog. These packs are basically just being opened for fun. A couple dollars value here and there would be nice, though. Mountain Felidar Retreat. Okay, that's another dollar rare right there. And that's it. Strangely enough, this card right here, Blood Chief's Thirst. If you look at a database of the cards in this set and try to pull their prices off the Scryfall database, it actually has that card being, I think, $1.75 or something, which, that's decent value. You can actually sell a card that's $1.75, but it's a bulk uncommon for sure. Null Priest of Oblivion, and just okay. One more pathway, and let's try to get one dual face modal. Ashala, the Soul of the Wind. Okay. That's actually a good mythic. That might be the best non-dual face mythic we have, or we could pull. Power and toughness equal to number of lands you control. 3 and 2 green. Okay. Okay, we are down to, this is the 7th to the end. So pack number 30, Inscription of Insight. Okay. Alright, last 6 packs, let's get one dual face modal. I'm not saying it has to be like Agadeem's Awakening or the Seagate Restoration, but oh, Foil Plains, nice, and a Full Art Island. That's quite nice actually. Crawling Barrens. This is probably the worst rare land you can pull. That's okay. All right, 5 packs. 5 packs. One more pathway. Or Archon of Emeria. I don't want to have to spend $4 to actually buy that card. Squad Commander Foil. Akiri Fearless Voyager again, this time in the regular art. Squad Commander. Okay. Four packs. Skewed Storm Alternate. Okay, that's a great rare. One of the more expensive rares you can pull, especially when you take out the pathways. But alternate art, I'm not sure. Sometimes the alternate arts can be, less desirable than the regular. I think it's actually a card, Decanter of Endless Water from Baldur's of Baldur's Gate. It is almost impossible to sell a showcase version of that card because nobody really likes it. Nahiri's Lithoforming. But if you have a regular version, which is, obviously is easier to pull than a showcase version, you can sell that for, $1, $1.50 all day on TCG Player. But this cute swarm, I like the art. Should be an easy sell because it's also, more than a couple dollar card. Aura Skyclave Hierophant. Okay. Well, that pack, kind of disappointing, second to the end, but we got one more to go. The last pack. Carlhelm Chronicler. Okay, Carlhelm Chronicler. Well, that might have been a 3 mythic box to be honest. I'm gonna go through and check to make sure, see what kind of pulls we have, and then I'll catch you guys for the recap in a couple moments. Alright, so I went through the cards. I have no idea how I forgot that we opened a Shatterskull Smashing when I kept asking to follow a mythic dual modal sorcery, but we did actually get one here. Not the most desirable one, but still, I'm not sure how I forgot that. Other than that, here's all of them separated by color. 2 Ruin Crabs, 2 Malakir Rebirths, that's $8 in value right there. 2 Balaged Recovery, that's $8. A Scute Swarm, that turns out that the showcase version of this card is actually a little bit more desirable than the regular. 4 of the Pathways, so we reached our goal there. We didn't open River Glide, which is the Izzet pathway, but nonetheless, the Tazri's actually bad. But Morog and Ashala, Soul of the Wild, these two are both, in the almost $10, maybe a little more range. And then obviously, the thing that puts it over the top, Cavern Souls, $65. You can sell this literally any day. So clearly, this is one of the better boxes you could open. Obviously, it could only be better if you open Ancient Tomb and 2 dual phase modals, 3 dual phase modal mythic sorceries, but there's nothing to complain about for sure. 2 of the best uncommon, 2 of the second best uncommon, 2 of the third best uncommon, and yeah, so we've got another box coming. And I'll film the video for that as soon as I finish editing this one, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.